Hello ladies and gentlemen, Dave Dobbs here. It's the 14th of April, Wednesday, 2021. And I've got you here right now on this this video that's just been posted on the 12th of April, just gone by Planet X Hunter. And it's got I was ready to quit. Then this happens, Monday the 12th of April 2021. And I've been watching his channel since his kind of first sort of epic shot, really, that sort of put him on the Planet X kind of like frontier, whatever you'd call this, kind of like this obscure subject. He's been on it since the 16th of October 2000 and when was it? I think it was 2017. A great shot that he got of the sun looking very, very peculiar, and he's become a really avid Planet X. He's got more subscribers than me now, actually. It's flashing me. I'm always stuck at about 19.1, blah 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 blah. So I'm quite impressed that a Planet X filmmaker makes it past 19,000 subscribers. So, you know, really well done. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's got his own special techniques of kind of being a sky watcher. And this shot is just it's an epic shot. I hope you don't mind if I just play this tiny little bit here, and I just want to show this as you capture this arm coming up here. That's what I wanted to see, this arm coming up here. I'm gonna, you know, please go on and find the link. But you'll see this is coming up in various different ways, and we're looking, this whole object is coming towards us. It's the second twin. We saw the first one in the last video I made. It's exactly as I mean, I've been observing this now for a long time, and it's taken an enormous amount of time to start really sort of to really start putting this together. And of course, you know, we've all of us, all the greats, everything, have been looking at this from a heliocentric kind of like perspective, from the idea that the sun is the center of it all, certainly of our kind of of our solar system. And it is for Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, but it doesn't appear to be so for Venus, Jupiter and Pluto and Eris and Neptune and Uranus, and these planets, these dwarf planets that we invent every 84 years, because to try and conceal the fact that we live in this, it's not even a binary system, because it's more than that. It's one big dwarf planet or something like that, a very big object in the center. You know, Terrell Blackstar thinks it's a black star. You know, just like David Bowie was singing in his last song before he died. You know, there's a lot of different opinions of what the kind of like the big center of of all this truly is. Is it a massive dwarf planet? Is it you know? But anyway, there seems to be our sun with its 4 planets, and this, whether you want to call it the Pluto system or the Jupiter system, whether you want to call it the Neptune system, the Uranus system, they're all basically the same things. There's one object that orbits another object, and I try to cover, you know, here, this aspect here, we've got 3 objects coming in here. We've got this object, Hydra, we've got Charon, and we've got Kerberos that you just can't see. They're actually coming down from the north, because I've done them on a fixed plane all the way through, because there was just no way that I could build this model more to show the timings. But all 4 now, you know, in where this object that Planet X Hunter has just caught, and I think Brandon Corey Nagley just got a great shot of it there. Well, that was put up by Ari55. Obviously, this same object that Planet X Hunter has just put up, and I just stopped because this shot was the pies and cake shot on the 2nd of August 2020. Now that's when the 3rd one will fly by, and it will be closer than if you see these shots here, this was the 2nd of December 2020 above, and this was the 2nd of August 2020. And you can see there's that tail again running up there. I don't know if I could maybe make that a bit bigger to give you some. Can you see how the structure of that tail going all the way up there? That's what Planet X Hunter is showing you there, isn't it? That same feature. As you're looking up, it's coming much more towards you. So they're all right on schedule. So just come out of that. And so if we talk about these three objects all syncing up, this aspect, this object that's coming in now is the object that caused Fukushima on the 11th of March 2011. I'm absolutely certain of that. After all of these years of just trying to build these models to ascertain what we're really seeing and how the system really works, when these objects in when would it have been on the 11th of March 2011, they would have been, the whole Pluto system would have been much more above the sun and the system that our sun is really orbiting, whether you want to call it the Planet X system. You know, it's a very, very confusing thing, but no, they would have still been coming. They would have still been coming over them. So I have just got these. You know, from I said from the start, really, these I put these in from the to capture the timing of it more than anything else, because they do change. You can imagine what I've observed is as the whole system, as the Pluto system, if we can call it that, has dropped through the Planet X system, the angles of the orbits have changed as they've basically chased the sun, you know, in whatever position it is, as the whole system has moved through. So you can imagine they've changed their position like the needles of a compass. And the fourth and final orbit of Planet X, the 2021 Dobbs timeline, was this is the latest model, and it's 1800 years. I've also posted it on BitChute, and the links are to this as well. So to try and keep this whole thing going and to keep it together, because you understand that we've got lots and lots of nuclear reactors going on. You understand what right now, and you understand that when Fukushima went bang on the 11th of March 2011, within a week Britain was bombing Libya, you know, David Cameron, NATO. And so we know that when these things come by, they take us into war, always. World War I was exactly it. We had a big flyby in World War I. We had a big flyby in World War II. That's the biggest part of the Planet X passage before this one. And before that, it was the next biggest one before that really was, well, it just keeps going back every 84 years. And I think we've explored that, and certainly in the last video. But I just want to talk about what we can expect now, outside of geopolitical kind of like chaos. What can we expect? Well, we've seen that all the big earthquakes that happened around about December and January, you notice all of them. The big one on the 20th of January 1939 that Carlos Ferrada predicted, and then predicted 1999. That happened on a full moon. The big flyby that really put me on the map on the 20th of January. Again, same day, 20th of January again. But 2017 on Trump's inauguration, that came on a full or a new moon. I can't remember if they were full or new, but it was distinct. It was an alignment with the moon, the sun, the earth, all lined up when those big earthquakes happened. 24th of December 2004 happened on a full or a new moon. That alignment exists, and that is a very, very kind of like common aspect of the November, December, January flybys. But when we look at the Sichuan earthquake that happened on the 12th of June 2004, that reoccurred on the 22nd of November 2016, that exact 11.89 years gap between the two big earthquakes. That 2004 earthquake, no, that was on the full moon, sorry, I'm talking the Sichuan earthquake on the 12th of June 2008, sorry, I'm getting my earthquakes confused there, but so that's on the other side. This is the area that we're coming to now. What's interesting about that earthquake was it happened exactly on the neap moon, not on the new moon at all. So there's a very, very odd thing that's happening, you know, with the movements of here, because certainly when the tide went out in, I believe it was December, and we had a high tide. We had a super high tide in Venice in December. I'm pretty much sure it was December, and it happened again on the neap. You know, that was the most shocking thing about the big high tide in late 2020. I think it was like middle of December. It's certainly in my video around about December, Christmas time, just before, maybe posted on the 24th, 25th. But the king tide that flooded Venice, that should have existed only on a full moon, which came on the neap tide. Just, you know, we just had a small tsunami in Greece just before. We had an amazing sighting. Brandon Corey Nagley put up on the 28th of November. Also, an epic shot. You know, that object is Hydra. That object will cross. We've got that. You know, the pies and cake shot on the 2nd of August. That is what's coming in around that time, as far as I can see. Could it be later? It's very difficult to say. We've got 3 objects. You've seen one. This is the second, coming in over above us. And Pies and Cakes has just shot another shot, which Brandon Corey Nagley has also put up here. He put it up, and yeah. So it's again. He's posted it up. It's one of Ari 55 YouTube channel shots. So that, on my mind, is literally the big one that we're going to meet in August. That's the pies and cake shot that is far away now. And you can see there's 4 of these objects. And like I say, it's taken an enormous amount of work to work out these movements so I can do these predictions and get them so precise. Because this is the model's built on the patterns. It's just built on the patterns of when we see it, and you know, and you know, to all the video makers out there, Planet X Hunter, Ari 55, Brandon Corey Nagley, Steve Olson. We haven't heard anything from Steve Olson for quite some time, and I, you know, sending out loving kind of good, loving, healthy, fantastic blessings to you there, brother. You know, it's just like it's such a difficult time for us all to speak, and we know what's going on, and we're so powerless in it, and I got to remember, you know, the message I was given in my book was don't panic about your earth. Unprecedented peace will now be waged upon your earth. That was a message that was given to me, and that's why I wrote a book. And I've got a funny feeling that no matter how much our governments provoke Iran, they will not get a rise out of them, nor they'll know that once they turn to violence in this, they're doomed. Do you remember what happened with the Elizabeth I? She didn't go into war in this time. You cannot have war in this time. You cannot have war in this time. Anything that goes to war goes under the wheels of this. This was the whole purpose of me writing my book, was we approach a wall. Nothing gets past this wall that is of war. Only peace can get through. Through all your hatred, all your racism, all your or you know, it was like it was just like throw all your most horrible aspects of war at it, and you're not even scratched the sides. It seems so much bigger, so much badder. To go under the wheels of this, and that's what's attempting to be done here, is to force us to go under the wheels of this mighty thing. And we don't have to. We don't have to. We could take a peaceful path. It is more than understood that humanity is not a race of war, but is a race being subverted with war from the other side, from a higher perspective. That was also my message when I first saw Planet X, when it first showed me Planet X. It used to tell me finish South America, as in finish the book in South America, and then it would spill the beans. And so it was a slow process, and you know, it's a really difficult process to kind of describe what I've been doing in terms of my process to kind of open these doors, you know, and so much of it is built on intention, and we really need to track our intentions to a really powerful, good place at the moment within ourselves. Deep breath, look at what's going on, assess it, and you know, we've got big decisions to make now. Crazy stuff is going on. These flybys that are coming in are the same flybys that caused the 2008 Sichuan crash, which was, in my opinion, the precursor for the 2008 crash. And you'll notice every time this thing has come by, big crashes have occurred, so you know the type of things that are on the table here. Got big stuff. Food prices could rocket. Inflation could go through the roof. They're printing money like there's no tomorrow. And they're pushing for war. And the only way you can get people to go to war is to get them hungry. Because, as Bob Marley says, a hungry man is an angry man. And this is where they're taking us. So we've got big golden rings of light. We've got to see what's happening. We've got to kind of like, we've got to work in accordance to that, and just know that it's really happening at the moment. This is really going on. You know, the earthquakes in the northern hemisphere are going to start massively increasing now, and so are the volcanoes. There's going to be magma leakage. Britain's going to see volcanoes this year. Britain's going to see volcanoes in the coming weeks, more than months. You know, we're talking. This is going to be a big flyby. Exactly what time it's going, what the time it's going to cross the ecliptic is difficult to say now, but it's above us. It's above us. This is what's causing Iceland. So this is all above. It's higher than where it was in Fukushima now. It's coming in much higher because of the angles because of the ways in which the angles are working now. And I know that sounds a bit of a lame sort of comment, but what I'm going to try and do in the next aspect is do some more diagrams now, I think, to try and demonstrate some aspects of the new model, to try and make it a bit clearer so you can understand the angles a little bit more, to understand how the angles, because I want to be in a situation that if anything happens to me, this information is out there. I've got it up to so far, and it's been so many people's help. You know, all the work that I'm showing here is all with other people's sightings. That we couldn't begin to kind of fathom this, and you know, I might disappear from the equation, and this is one opinion, but how do you kind of get to the point where you can explain that this thing just appears parked all the time? The only way is if it's been traveling with us the whole time, as if we're both orbiting the same thing, and it's really that simple. You know, if Planet X was orbiting our sun, it would come in and it would be gone within a shot. This thing has been here since 2016. Sorry, 1916. What am I talking about? 1916 we were experiencing flybys. You know, 1859, the Carrington event. These were all parts of this flyby. That's we're from 1859 as we've come around Planet X. So as our sun has come around Planet X, so has this other object over kind of a period of kind of like 120, 130 years, just to do that aspect of its rotation. That's all we're talking about. You know, it does change. It does change a lot, and it gives us an opportunity to start seeing a whole new zodiac. And connecting to our rightful galactic place in the universe. You know, it's just a part of this. You know, I'm just a small part of this. This is going to go on. This is going to advance. People are going to take this further. I hope so. All the love in the world. Be, you know, do what you've got to do. Do what you've got to do. Many of you, if you've got to do, you know what you've got to do, and you're sensing you've got to do things. Just know this, you are on your own. You really are on your own here. And those things that you do now will, though you're going to feel awkward in yourself to do some of them, to sort things out in whichever way you feel you need to, you're going to be massively appreciated if you've got a few things sorted out. You know, like water, stored food, seed. Remember, nature doesn't store its produce in cans. It stores its genius in seed. That's why the first place that got destroyed in Syria was the biggest organic seed storage in the Middle East. I think it was Aleppo. Taking over the food chain. Big golden rings of light. You've got to be strong through this. You know, you've just got to see what's coming in. Be strong. There's things you've got to do. There's things maybe you shouldn't do. You know, you've got to kind of navigate your path through that now. Decide what's the best route. Difficult times. Take care. Ciao.